going on, peeps? It's Wrath here, hanging out today, playing some Monster Legends. I want to thank you guys so much for coming out with me today. If you liked the video, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button to show your support. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe as well. Alright, peeps. Obviously, maze coins in the Monster Woods, so definitely be doing that. 300 free maze coins there. But we've got important stuff and things to do today. One, this thing is still glitched as crap for me. The breeding and hatching points and the maze coins kind of stinketh. But I'm not worried about it really, because what we're going to do today is we are going to, one, finally get the warrior hatching up. Because it's got to happen. It's got to be a thing. I need him to be a thing. So bam. Warrior is now hatching. Also, we've got something else to craft up. And it's going to be M2 Wyvern. Bam. Amazing. Ooh, that egg's attractive as well. I like it. So we're going to get him going up. I need him for a mechanical monster. I don't have a single mechanical monster for wars that's legendary, and it's really been kicking me in the butthole when we get those wars. So we're going to fix that problem today. Any hoodles. Today, also, we're going to be talking about the Guardians. Now, the reason we need to talk about Guardians is because, one, there is some confusion around them. And I had a lot of it myself. First up, when you activate a Guardian, like when I first started the game 3.5 months ago-ish, I started doing the Guardians, and I unlocked my first one, and it said 7.2 million gold to activate. Then 3 more activations, 40%, and then I went on the wiki, and 3 more activations would be 60, then 3 more activations was 80. Well, I didn't know that once you ranked a Guardian up, it stayed at that star. So I thought I had to do 7.2 million gold 9 freaking times every time I wanted him to have 80% power. So obviously that's incorrect. That's not how it works. Once you rank him up, you're good. He stays that. They stay that rank. So it's 7.2 million gold per activation. There's going to be a 2-day, activation, like when their skill's actually working. Then a 3-day cooldown after that before you can activate again. So I really screwed myself over by not messing with my Guardians more than I should have been, and now my Guardians are behind where they need to be. So I've been activating them as much as I can in the recent days. With that little disclaimer out of the way, Wrathy's not the smartest person in the world. Sometimes he messes up, and when I do, I'm going to tell you peeps, because maybe you're messing up too, and I can help you out. So anyways, we're going to jump in today, and we're going to talk about all the Guardians, what's going to take to rank them up, what their bonuses and stuff is, and where they're useful, stuff like that. So first up, obviously, is going to be this chickadee here, but before we talk about her, we're going to go down here. Why? Because when you rebuild the temple costs, there's different costs for each of them. I haven't actually looked at, what's this one cost? 41 mil. Okay. I can't remember what it cost me to do my breeding Guardian. I think it was like 4.2 million gold to rebuild the temple. I could be wrong. This one I think took 12 or 13 million. I could be wrong there too. It wasn't that bad. It really wasn't that bad. But once you repair the temple with your gold, you're going to get this pop up. It's going to be a little mini game here, kind of, with a little picture that's got a bunch of these little squares and stuff over the top of it. And you're going to have to complete nodes over here to finish them. Now, these nodes are going to be like, collect gold, pay gold, pay food, pay a rune of a certain level, do PvP battles, and get so far in the adventure map. Now, once you've got all that stuff done, then the Guardian becomes a thing. They pop out of their temple, they start clapping their hands and flapping their wings, all that good business. So, first up, we're going to jump in here to Kemala the Guardian of Breeding. She's hot diggity dog. Anyways, first up is going to be the puzzle requirements here. Go ahead and take a screenshot if you need to. They're really not that expensive, to be honest. This is, the easiest part of the Guardians. What takes a long time is the activations. So anyways, that being said, when you first get your Guardian, they come with a base statistic. So, like Kemala, when I just unlocked her, she had a 20% breeding boost instead of 40%. Now, once I activated her 3 times, then it moved up to 40%. I've activated her 3 more times now, or 2 more times after this. It will go up to 60%, then activate her 3 more times after that, and it will be 80%. Every activation takes 7.2 million gold, and it's going to also take 5 days between activations, unless you gem the cooldown time. So it's going to be 2 days of activated skill, 3 days cooldown, total of 5 days for each activation deal. So, with that being said, activating her all the way up to max is going to take you quite a bit of days, but it's also going to set you back 64.8 million gold, which isn't really that bad, and she's the one I would recommend you max out first, because she's probably one of the most useful Guardians in the game. Especially when it comes to breeding events, super important. Super, super, super important for breeding events. Really helps you get legendary monsters faster. When it comes to team races, being able to breed a legendary in 9 hours versus 46 hours is a very big deal. Very big deal. So this is one of those Guardians I say definitely set aside 7.2 million gold every 5 days and make sure you're activating this Guardian every chance you get until she's maxed. Anyways, moving on down, we've got this dude here. Faunus, the Guardian of Farming. Now this guy's a little more expensive, obviously, but first up, we're going to throw his puzzle requirements up here on the screen. Go ahead and screenshot that if you want to. Again, it's really not that expensive. And like I'm doing here, if you can see over here, I have all 3 of these as PvP battles at the same time. What that means is I don't actually have to do 8 battles and then do 12 battles and then do 15 battles. I have to do 15 total battles and I get all 3 of those done. So it's not like a cumulative stacking like if you do them 1 at a time. Stack them up like this, 3 at a time, goes much faster. Anyways, peeps, so once you've unlocked Faunus, it is time to get into his skill activation. It's going to take you 26.4 million gold per activation. Pretty expensive, but, you know, it gets worth it here in a little bit. Anyways, his base statistic is going to be 25% boost to your farms. Your farms will produce 25% more food every time you grow food. So, not bad. Not bad at all. It's going to take you 4 activations to get him to 1 star. Another 3 activations to get him to 2 stars, and then 4 more activations after that to get him to a 3 star. This is going to be a total of 11 activations for 290.4 million. So it does get very expensive, but he also is quite useful. Now also, the Guardian of Farming is interesting in a couple ways. People misuse him, they use him wrong, they don't really know what they're doing, and they waste some of their gold. So here's going to be a little screenshot I found on Reddit. I went digging around looking for information on this dude, and here it is, peeps. So, normally, food's pretty expensive, right? Black Lotus roots, 5 million golds a piece, and a lot of people will activate their Guardian and think, okay, now I'm making a profit when I grow food, because I'm growing, you know, instead of 5 million gold for 100,000, it's 5 million gold for 200,000. Well, it's not actually true, because people forget that there's a 26 million activation fee on top of this food Guardian. So you're not actually growing your first food for 5 million gold. Your first food actually costs you 31 million gold. So your gold to food ratio is very bad right when you activate this Guardian. Now, this chart is super helpful because it shows you where you need to be before you break over the gold to food ratio that's, you know, key. Normally, Black Lotus root runs 50 gold to 1 food. Now, once you activate the Guardian, there's a certain number of Black Lotus roots you're going to have to grow before you break into a threshold where it's below 50 gold to 1 food, which makes it actually cheaper to grow it this way. Now, if you don't break over that threshold, like if you have a level 1 farming Guardian and you can't grow 22 Black Lotus roots, there's no point in you blowing all your gold on Black Lotus roots. You know, just spend the 22 million. You know, it's fine to grow food while you're doing that, but use that just to level them up. So like I said, you're going to have to grow a lot of Black Lotus at a level, you know, at the base level Guardian before your food actually is becoming cheaper than normal. The best you're going to be able to get it down to is like, you know, 26-ish%, or 26 gold to 1 food ratio, which is, if you don't know, about the same ratio as it takes to grow rainbow snow peas. So, very good, very cheap, definitely the best way to go about it. So obviously, once you get this guy to 3 stars, it's going to be a 100% bonus to your food. The main reason you use your Guardian of Farming is, 1, sometimes you need lots of food to level monsters. Duh. Another good place to use is the 72-hour challenges, because 72-hour challenges go off of how much you collect. So if you collect, you know, 1,000 food, you're going to get a certain amount of coins. If you collect 200,000 food, you're going to get a very different amount of coins. So this is where he really shines, is the 72-hour challenges. He's also good during the events, like the Harvester Feast, where you have to collect food. Obviously, if you're collecting tons and tons of food with this guy active, you'll place much higher in the leaderboards. So, important to know there. Anyways, that's going to be it for the Guardian of Farming. Now we're going to move over to the Guardians of Runes over here. Now, I don't have mine done yet, obviously. Boom. Mjolnir, the Guardian of Runes. In my opinion, this is probably the worst Guardian. Now, I'm not saying he's, like, useless, but for what he does, he is incredibly expensive. So anyways, we're going to jump right in like normal with the puzzle cost to get this guy out. Again, the puzzle costs really aren't that bad. It's just kind of a mini game, I guess. So once you get through the puzzle, you're going to start getting into leveling this guy up, and that's where things get rough. this guy's going to run you 52.8 million gold per activation. That's a lot of gold. And his base power is only a 2% increase in your rune's strength. Now, this does not mean it adds 2% to your rune. Like a 10% does not become a 12% buff with this rune. It's 2% of that rune's current level. So if you have a rune that has a 100% increase in damage, let's say, it's only going to give you 2% of that. So another 2%. Not much at all. So it's very weak, especially at the start. Anyways, to get this guy to a 1-star, it's going to take you 6 activations, so a pretty hefty amount of gold there. To get him to 2 stars, it's going to be 4 more activations. And to get him to level 3, there's going to be 3 more activations. For a total of 13 activations, going to run you 686.4 million gold. So over $500 million gold, peeps. Very expensive. Now, I'm not at all saying that he's useless. I'm just saying, for a majority of the game, like when you're building up your monsters, this guy is going to be the least of your worries. Now, once you get in-game, or like, you know, you're the guy pushing to be the top in the PvP leaderboards, trying to get those extra gems, if you're the guy, you know, in a top war team, top 100 teams, yes, a 10% buff to your runes is really going to help you out. It's going to make you, you know, to make your fast monster even faster, your strong monster even stronger. So yes, it does have a place, but it's not something early game, even mid game, you should be focusing on. You're much better off getting your breeding and your farming guardians maxed, and kind of waiting, put this guy on the back burner until you've got a very serious amount of gold production, and then go ahead and start leveling this guy up as well. So that's pretty much everything about the Guardians, peeps. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you learned something new. If you guys have any questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos, don't forget to leave those in the down there, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you liked the video, please make sure you smash that thumbs up button to show your support, and I will see you guys next time.